G'day everyone, Ali here. I've got this Spyrax A4 notebook here that was given to me by one of my work colleagues, and she asked me if I could do something with the cover, so to pretty it up a bit. So there's all this writing on it and it's just a blank notebook. So I decided that I was just going to start off with applying some gesso to the cover. So I decided to pull the book apart, and I've got a Zutter machine here, and it works with this type of wire spine, so I can stick it back together. So I'm just sanding the cover down just a bit, and I thought I'd give the gesso another go. So overall, I found that the gesso wasn't giving the coverage that I wanted. So after drying it, I found that the gesso was not properly sticking to the cover. So I've got this old book here and I've had it for ages, and I decided to use this book to cover the front of the notebook, and I also decided to do the back of the notebook as well. So just drying off the gesso here, and I'm just using some PVA glue and just randomly placing the bits of torn paper all over. So I'm just going to pop this aside to dry. While that's drying, I've got a Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz collection in Flutter, which I'm going to stamp these butterflies out on some photocopy paper, and then I'll use some clear embossing powder and heat set that on. So I've got some Kaiser mist here in various colours, and instead of spraying it on, I'm just going to paint on the colours. It will give a really lovely mist colour to all my butterflies. So my front and back covers are all nice and dry, and I'm going to use some Kaiser colour in Eggshell just to cover the covers with this colour. So I still want my book pages to be showing through a little, so this colour is ideal for that. I'm also going to get a baby wipe just to wipe some of this colour away ever so lightly. I've also got some Montmartre acrylic paint in raw umber, and I'm just going to paint on the inside of the covers with this, because I will also cover up the inside of the covers later on. Now I'm just going to add some splatters to the front of these covers here as well, so just with the raw umber. Now with the same brush, I'm going to use this to feather the paint on the edges. I think this will give a great border front and back. Now all my butterflies that I've sprayed with the Kaiser mist is all dry now, and I do have the matching dies also. So I'm just going to cut all of these out in readiness to put them on the front of my notebook. So I've got these flourish stamps here, and I'm just going to randomly stamp all over my covers with archival ink in library green. I've got this entomology stamp here by Stampers Anonymous also, and I'm going to use the script stamp just to randomly stamp all over, and I'm just going to use some jet black archival ink for this also. Now I'm stamping the butterflies onto the cover also because their antennas will show through. And I'm just going to use some Mod Podge in matte to glue my butterflies over the stamped images. And I'm going to do exactly the same process to the back cover here also. So I ended up stamping out, embossing and colouring in some more butterflies because I just didn't think 3 was enough for the back of the book. And you know me and butterflies, I cannot resist. Now to add some quotes, I've printed this out on some tissue paper and then I have torn the quotes out because by tearing the quotes out it blends better when you glue these down onto the pages. Now I've got some coffee stained photocopy paper here which I'd already stained and dried, and I'm just crumpling this up and then I'm flattening it out. Now I've got some Memento Rich Cocoa ink here and I'm just going to run it over the page here and it just gives a brilliant textured look. So I love doing this. Now these sheets are going to be for the inside of my notebook, so I'm going to tear the edges as well because I don't want any straight edges showing. So after I've torn it, I'm just going to apply the same Memento Rich Cocoa ink just around the edges. Now I've got some PVA glue and just with a store card I'm just applying that all over, just flattening it out, and I'll just get a paintbrush and just make sure that all my edges are all stuck down nicely. And I'm going to do exactly the same to the back cover as what I did to the inside of the front cover. So all I've got to do is put the book together. I am extremely pleased with how this notebook has turned out. So it's gone from a boring green notebook to something that's magical. I'm sure when I give this notebook back to my work colleague, she'll be extremely pleased. I hope you've enjoyed this process video today. If you have, please give me your thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell. And until next time, happy crafting. See ya!